some of you know I've been doing backing tracks for different songs and sending them out to the email list. Well, I start working on a Little Wing backing track, and I'm having a lot of fun. The track gets done. And so I sit down one night at the TV, like I often do, and I decide I'm going to play along with this backing track. But I'm not plugged in, so soloing is kind of anticlimactic. So I just started. So I did all that stuff that's based on what Stevie played. And so I get to the end of the chorus. And so I tried to start over again. And then it hits me, I don't know how to do anything else for the rhythm. Because when I learned Little Wing, I studied Stevie Ray Vaughan's version. I learned a little bit of rhythm that he plays, and I focused entirely on soloing. But I don't really understand how to chord like Hendrix did in Little Wing. Not really. So that series of realizations led me to the place where I just decided I am going to learn to really play Little Wing. I'm going to learn to extend it in any way that I want. I'm going to have complete freedom while I'm playing the song Little Wing, both in soloing and in chords. And so that's what I've been doing for the past couple months. I am doing a course called Little Wing Song Guide. My goal with this course is driven by my own determination to understand the song Little Wing, to understand all my different options for playing it. If I want to sound like Hendrix, here is the chord forms that I'm going to use and the embellishments that I'm going to do. If I want to sound like Stevie, this is how I'm going to do it. But I don't even have to stick to those things because I know all my different chord options for playing the song. And that's what led to the creation of the idea for this course. So in order to teach this course the way that I wanted to use my fretboard tool that I've been using for several years here, because I wanted to be able to point out all the different places that you could play a chord over a certain part of the progression. But that wasn't good enough, so I added the ability to show scale interval numbers here. I wanted to show these scale intervals in any shape or chord that I put up there, so I had to program that in. The second thing that I wanted to be able to do is I wanted to very quickly be able to show and hide entire sets of chords. So I developed this idea of a snapshot where I could just, with one click, switch to showing all the chords with the roots highlighted that I wanted to show. Okay, so here are all of our things for the start of the progression. Then when the progression goes to the 1, we can go to any of these chords, and it would show all of these chords, and it would show the roots. And so I had to program that in. So finally, after all of that, I got to a point where I'm like, okay, I am ready to teach this, and I can show the chords the way that I want, but it still wasn't enough. And so I got to thinking, like, what else do I really want to show in this course? That's when I decided to break down all the embellishments to 4 different performances of the song. I have the album, I have the Winterland performance, the Royal Albert Hall, and the Olympic Studios performance. And I went through those performances and I isolated every single embellishment that he did. I took out the ones that were so similar that it would be kind of a waste of time to teach them. And so what I was left with was a list of 66 different embellishments separated by the bars of the song, each of them slightly different than the others. And so as I got into just transcribing all of these different embellishments, it's like I was going deep. I'd hear something in the recording, I would dive down deep with my Capo software and then with Isotope RX to isolate different notes to try and figure out which chord form was he using. Sometimes I would hear things that sounded like he doubled up on certain notes, but I wasn't sure. And so that's what I've been doing for the past few weeks. And I finally got through the whole list, and I'm about ready to start shooting the lessons and the demonstrations for the course. If Little Wing has ever felt like a mystery to you, and you want to learn how Hendrix played it, the chord forms, the embellishments, this is the course for you. If you've ever wanted to know what the difference between how Hendrix approached it and how Stevie approached it, this is the course for you. And if you really want to understand all of your different options for the different chords in this song, this is going to be the course for you. If you want to understand where you can solo and where you can end your licks so that it will sound good with the chord progression. This is going to be the course for you. And I'm going to put everything that I've learned into this, and I'm going to teach it as extensively and as clearly as I possibly can. When the course comes out, it will, of course, be available instantly to all of our members, just as part of their membership. It will also be available to purchase for a limited time, and I'll put up some kind of announcement about that when it happens. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.